today. From Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Week 3 of the NFL on EA Sports. Raiders taking on the Seattle Seahawks.
NFL football has come to Southern Nevada as we are in the menacing new Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Las Vegas Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play, and losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a first-round pick in the 2020 draft out of Utah State. This is Jordan Love.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. You got to get that changed around.
And they work this well upfield across the 35. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. So an early wake-up call there leads to a quick 2nd and long. Love from the gun. That's into the hands of Pascal. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
1st and 10 at the
And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball. And sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the 1st round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
They'll run it now with Robinson. And And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 12 more yards there and another first down. Well, they've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up second and goal.
They'll try and run. This is Robinson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards. Brings up third down.
2 on the play. It's third down and goal to go.
Love looking to throw it. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds. And now fourth down. And that is too far out in front. He couldn't haul it in. Incomplete. On now is the kicker, Jason Myers, for the field goal try. From the left hash. Should be a fairly easy one here. Myers' kick is good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage.
3. Seahawks, nothing.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, it kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. So here come the Seahawks now for their first drive. And out will come their signal caller.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did win the game.
Pick up a 5 on the keeper. It's second down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. There'll be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injury on the play. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, first and 10. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Now a second down throw for Love here. On the right side by Adams. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 12 yards there and a first down. The numbers for Adams in last week's game. 4 catches, 55 yards.
And what we just saw there was exactly what they need against this defense. Big plays. They were able to pick up a first down on that one.
And boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up second and 3.
On second down, it's Robinson. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake. He's taking care of that early.
And he's taken down inside the 30. Solid gain of 18. And a Raider first down.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Love now to pass on 1st down. A good throw here, finding Pascal. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Off the play fake, Love. Letting one go deep for the end zone. Well, he's going to look that one in one-handed. What a catch for the touchdown. So a one-handed grab in the end zone. Nothing much more rewarding than that for a guy catching it.
Not at all. And with what we just saw there, that type of a one-handed catch, what's next? Maybe they go up and almost Velcro with their jersey in the ball. That's about all that's left. That play, simply spectacular.
So a one-handed grab and the end zone, not much more impressive than that. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Open man is Denzel Mims. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Mosley on the tackle. A 2-yard gain on the play.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that 1st down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
To 2nd and 10.
He'll air this one out for Mims. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Pass hauled in downfield. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
Seahawks.
They give the Taylor out of the gun. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Back to Taylor on 1st down. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
End zone. 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. Now the extra point.
As they began this last drive, things weren't exactly looking up for this offense. But after what they just did, putting the ball in the end zone, that took them away from the brink of possibly being knocked out of this game.
Seahawks 7. Younghoe Koo set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Fielded in the end zone. And no return here from Westbrook. This will be a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guy who's going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Love now on second down. Throws this one right side to Pascal. He's got this almost to the first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
And 10 yards to go.
They will throw again here with Jordan Love. And Pascal's got it. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
He's brought down at the 42.
Working with a 2nd and 4. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt.
But you're stuck with me in this booth, and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Give him 32 on the play.
This play started with the protection. You have to have it to give your quarterback time to let routes develop downfield. And then it's on him to locate an open man, and he does just that.
And it's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Rob Gronkowski, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders add on to their lead. The extra point now coming from Myers. It's good to make it 17-7. So that one an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders.
Jason.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Taking it about the 1. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. Play fake. He'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And that's caught inside the 45. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy two-play drive that time.
Younghoe Koo set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Taken in the end zone. And no return here from Westbrook. This will be a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Jordan Love ready on first down here. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Well-timed effort there by Derwin James, a sack from his safety position.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far, so maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely, and that sack finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
On the run, it's Robinson. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've hit halftime, and we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they?
in trouble, and he's taken down. Dietrich Wise showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. On the draw is Taylor. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Calling no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long.
Gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, it wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. Taylor. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
On play action, they'll throw. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down.
It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that post route there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to look the football in and gain significant yardage.
And he'll go down at the 28. And he was brought down by Eric Wilson. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Younghoe Koo on for the field goal. A 45-yard attempt.
And this one is right down the middle. And that will tie things at 17 all.
At 17.
So they come away from this opening drive in the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
And no return here from Westbrook. This will be a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket. for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
It really has, especially as of late. And he's got it. Got his man on the end round. Complete. 15 yards on the play. First down.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Here's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds
pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. But what people often forget, defense is audible as well. And a lot of times when they see an empty backfield, they audible right into a blitzing situation. And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Caught out left side by Robinson. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Always important as a defender on third down to keep the play in front of you and make sure you don't give up enough space that they can make a move on you in the open field. Try as he might, he wasn't able to get to the first down marker. Excellent defense, good tackle.
Makes the score Raiders 20. Seahawks.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Now, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Buying time to his left. He may try and run from it. Oh, caught up. And the Raiders pick it up. They find some open field here. There he goes, right side. He's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown.
Jason Myers.
This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Jason Myers set to kick off.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And this is incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
And taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Number 85.
That gain on third down, good for 28. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. The big fella, 20, 10, and he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown.
Touchdown, Raiders.
The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. That's what they've done all game long.
And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the fourth quarter. Under pressure, they got him again. Dietrich Wise Jr. able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
Jonathan Taylor.
The Seahawks on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 5. Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. Down man, it's Mims. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Roughing the passer, defense.
Man, this is ridiculous, man.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now throwing on first down and completing it. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard.
29-yard line.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
First down.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Sin. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Down at the 41.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
7 yards there and a first down.
At the 48-yard line.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Now Robinson coughs up the football. It's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
Well, maybe it hasn't exactly been a Rembrandt, but it was. Partner, they're less than 2 minutes ago in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. On first down, it's Robinson. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
He's brought down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They'll run again here with Robinson.
James Robinson, the ball.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
4.
So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Las Vegas, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.